guys, so in some recent videos I've been messing about with this clear epoxy resin, and as the saying goes, the more you mess about with something, the better you get. Well, maybe I'm not messing about, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm going to do another video where I'm going to do some more, well, deep pouring with some resin. Obviously I need to make some, or get some miniatures first so that I can do my little diorama with, and I've gone for these big bad boys. And you can find these over at Puppets Miniatures over at my mini factory, so yeah, go check them out too. This video is sponsored by Phrozen, and I've been using their Sonic Mighty 8K for, well, the good last 4 or 5 months or so. And like anything guys that I'm sponsored with, everything I say are my own opinions. I'm never told what to say, and yeah, I will give you my truthful opinion on, well, anything that is sent to me. So yeah, so this lovely printer I've been using for quite a while now, and yeah, you'll have seen several shots of me where I have cut the front of it off. But as well as obviously doing the Mighty 8K, which I've been using, they also do a whole variety of, well, other lovely printers. And the great thing with their range is, yeah, they cover all sort of budgets and sizes. As you can see, from small mini ones to the medium sized ones to the rather large ones. I have used some of their large ones in the past, and they are, well, they are big. Big enough that you can print off sort of full size helmets, which is pretty cool. But obviously in my sort of situation, I don't have a lot of room, so for me the Mighty 8K is a perfect fit for, yeah, for my situation. And I say the results are just amazing. So go click on the link down below and check out their range of, well, resin printers, as well as the FDM one, which I'm hoping to get one day, as yeah, I'd love to have a go at FDM printing, as it's something I don't really do, but yeah, like to give it a go. So anyway, I've printed these lovely little miniatures out on my Sonic Mighty 8K, and as always, yeah, everything has come out perfectly. Gorgeous looking miniatures and pieces. And the great thing with this is obviously it comes in the parts, as you can see here, which is great because it means you can pose it. So normally I use super glue to fix things, but obviously I want to be able to pose this. I'm not too sure yet on how I want to pose it. So using the good old Gorilla Glue, it does give me that sort of chance of being able to glue the things together, but still position them, as I have a good, I don't know, good 5-10 minutes before this stuff sets, and then I can't move it. So yeah, again, posing, I want to try and make it look like these are battling, and obviously hitting each other. So yeah, that's why I'm using the Gorilla Glue, just because I want to get them in position and move them around, so it does look like they are fighting and attacking each other. So now I've got the basics bits done. Yeah, I can use super glue now because I've got their main pose sorted, but I want to cut some bits out because I want their weapons to be hitting each other, and to be making a whole load of, well, scratch marks and messes with each other. So cheap little Dremel tool does the job. Obviously I took this outside because this stuff you don't want to breathe in, and it does get a bit messy. I have done it on my desk in the past, and yeah, dust flies everywhere, so took it outside for that. And then it's a case of putting some heads in. Obviously I want this to be good old Orks vs Spacemarines, and that's why I've gone for a Space Marine head and an Ork head, and there we go. Yeah, it's a lovely looking miniatures, so yeah, definitely go and check out Puppets Wars stuff, as they do a whole range of stuff, and more importantly for me, they do a whole range of Orks, which I absolutely love. So paint scheme, yeah, keeping it simple, but I want this to be easily distinguished that one is a Space Marine, and one's going to be an Ork. So yeah, I've opted for a good old blue and a good old green on these, and as you can see, Green Stuff World Dipping Inks, yeah, for the win. Real simple, real quick, but the results, yeah, absolutely love it. So say these are going to be painted very simple, as the armour is going to be pretty much one colour. There's a few little items on them I'm going to put different colours on, but yeah, but majority of these is going to be the nice simple colour. And I say, obviously I've gone for my favourite green and possibly my favourite blue, although not too sure I've got a favourite blue, because obviously I do paint more Orks than anything else. So yeah, for me greens are the main sort of the colours that I really love trying out and using. Their weapons, yeah, good old chrome silver here. Obviously we'll go over later on with a good old wash just to dirty these up a little bit. But yeah, this chrome paint, again, I've used this quite a lot now. You don't see it exactly on the screen just how shiny it really is. You can almost see my face in it. Not that I'd want to see my face, but yeah, you know what I mean. So I say, yeah, not really going to add a lot of colour to these because I don't really want to distract from them. I do like the fact they are sort of all the same sort of colour, which is great. And then, yeah, say the wash. Definitely do this on their weapons just to dirty them up, make them look a bit more weathered, beaten and bad. So with the Ork and the Space Marine, I'm going to paint the armour of the suits the guys are in a little bit of a different colour, just so they do stand out a little bit from the rest of the, I don't know, is it a mech bot, battle bot? Yeah, I'm not too sure what you'd call these dudes. But yeah, they do look pretty meaty, pretty beefy, and I wouldn't want to see one of these coming towards me on the battlefield. So as I say, I have made lots of cuts and scratches into the armour. So I'm just going to put a bit of silver on the inside, just to make it look like it has obviously cut through, and there's silver, well, silver underneath their the coloured paint. Anyway, I'm waffling there. Who knows what I'm saying? I do put a wash over the top as well, just to make it a bit dirtier, and then go over the whole sort of miniature with a good sort of silver dry brush, just to catch all the edges, and again make these look more like they are metallic, rather than little plastic things painted with blue or green. Again, another sort of technique I always love doing, the dry brushing, as it does give great results, and yeah, makes things look awesome. And everything that makes things look awesome is transfers. So yeah, put a few of these here and there, obviously help give the impression that these are part of an army or linked to some others. And yeah, love how these look. Say nice and simple, but very effective. And yeah, very happy with how they come out. So with the clear resin, yeah, rather than make a mould from some sort of perspex sheets, I'm going to do a bit of a cheating option here. Well, I don't know if it's cheating, more of a big brain option, and I'm using a silicone mould. Also going to use some resin-crete, which I've mixed up, and I've used this as the base. So again, rather than trying to make a base, I'm just going to pour this in, let it set. This stuff only takes about 20 minutes, goes like concrete. So yeah, perfect instant base, the size I need, and then some good old sand. As I'm going to have these guys sort of, say, in this little water diorama, rather than just putting some sort of little stones in and then painting them, well, I might as well cut out the middleman there, and again, make things simple for myself and look better by using some real sand. So putting that over PVA glue. Obviously the PVA glue does take a while to set, and one of the issues I didn't want was when I pour the resin and afterwards all the sand to start coming up. So again, big brain time. I've gone for some UV resin that I can just put the old the UV light over. This obviously hardens it straight away. So by putting a layer of this down first, I know then when I kind of pour the clear resin in over the top, it's not going to make any of the sand come up because it's already sealed in. So I've got the little torch, but yeah, with the Let's resin, I've also got this bigger one. Ideally, I think it's meant to be used for like your nails, but yeah, I don't really mess about with my nails, so I'm just going to use it for the UV resin. And obviously the great stuff is that stuff goes off instantly, which is just perfect. So the Let's resin, yeah, I've used this once before. Really great results, easy to pour, and bubble free, which it pretty much was in the last diorama I used it for. I had a couple of issues, not with the resin, but with the mould that I made, not being able to sort of break apart. So again, that's why I've gone with the silicone resin, or the silicone mould, just to make things, yeah, a lot simpler on myself. So as these battle bots are splashing about here, obviously I want the water to have some texture. So that's why I'm using this Vallejo, well, water texture stuff. Although I'm sure this stuff is just like PVA glue. Except it's probably cost about 3 times the amount. But I've had this stuff for ages. Don't need to use too much of it, because it's just a case of putting it on the top and trying to make some sort of like uneven wavy areas. So I put a bit on the sword as well, because I kind of imagine this dude, as he kind of like swung up, he's sort of put his hand in the water, it's come up out of the water and bosh, straight into the chest of the other dude. So yeah, this stuff is starting to dry now, which is pretty cool, and that's why obviously it goes white as it dries, or goes clear as it dries, sorry. Obviously it started off white. And yeah, peeling this back, again, these silicone moulds are perfect for this, because obviously things don't stick to them, and well, they're easy to sort of bend, so it does make things a lot easier to try and get them out. And there we go. I absolutely love how it's come out. Say bubble free, which is just perfect. Again, guys, links to everything I use down below. So in the past, I have put some of the dipping ink into the clear resin when I've mixed it up, but quite often I've done it too much. So that's why, again, I thought this time I would just paint the clear resin afterwards. I have diluted it with a bit of water so it's even more translucent. And as you can see, yeah, it's very wet, it's very fluid, but yeah, it's going on an absolute dream. And love how this is coming out rather than me trying to sort of mix the stuff with the resin. Put a few little wires in where the sword's gone in, just to make it look like he's sort of broken into, well, into the main part of the body there. And then the last kind of thing to do is just to go over, do a bit of white dry brushing, just to hit all the peaks of the water, just to make it look more like it's kind of like waves. And yeah, a lovely little simple project, lots of fun to do. Love how it's come out. And I say, the clear resin, it really is a case of the more times you use it, play with it, the better you get. When I first started using this stuff, I always had a lot of fear about messing up everything I've done. But I hope you guys agree. Yeah, not done too bad a job. Love how it's come out. Love the water effects on the top. And yeah, guys, look out for some more epoxy resin videos coming very soon. There's another video on the screen, guys. Give that a click, see more of what I do. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below. All that fun stuff. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.